All right, we want to welcome every single one of you guys to the Saturday training call. This is one of the two calls you want to tune into every single week. We have our corporate update presentations we get from our owner, Mr. David Hart. I want to remind you guys we're going to be doing a live one time per month, but weekly he records those in the back office. There was a brand new one just released the other day from Spain. And then, of course, we have our training call that we do every single week with my man. I call him MJ, Michael Jordan, the best to ever do it. That's Dale Roberts, obviously an incredible individual. We have him on here every single Saturday training and giving people the updates and things of that nature. But today, we got Daryl and Maria going to practice for their grandbaby. They're in San Diego with a fairly weak internet connection. We're going to take them for as long as we can possibly get them. I do have a brand new presentation, a brand new story that I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you through the slides. I'm going to read you the script. But it's something you've never seen before. We're going to be doing that today. I'm hoping that we're going to get Eager and Larissa here. They've got another call they're on, and I'm trying to get them here if I can. Because, by the way, just a little pre-announcement. Today, most likely, Eager will go 2-star ambassador, and Larissa will go 1-star ambassador. I believe they're going to hit it together on the exact same day. Now, again, that could be today, most likely. I think Eager will be today. Most likely Larissa, but it could be Eager today, Larissa tomorrow. You never know with weekend. If it was a Thursday, it's a done deal. Being a weekend, yeah, you never know. Sometimes volume can trail off a little bit on the weekend. But anyway, obviously massive. I mean, guys, their 1-year anniversary in this business was basically October 31st, November 1. I mean, so what is today's date? We are they're 2 weeks in. They're 1 year and 2 weeks to developing a $300,000 reoccurring residual income, making them the number 4 income earners in the entire company, if not number 3, by the way, because they have the 2 spots. Again, an unbelievable feat to accomplish. In just a very short period of time. And again, hoping to get them on here today. Got some great stuff for you. But hey, I want to go to my man, Mr. Daryl Roberts, MJ, the best to ever do it. While we have him have a connection here, so. Daryl, man, the skies are looking a little bit cloudy for San Diego. That's unusual, right? For those who don't know San Diego weather, it's typically just blue skies. When they get clouds, like, oh my gosh, look at all this weather. We have clouds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, just like yesterday was like this early in the morning. And then probably by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, the sun came out. And it was like 72 degrees. So it was absolutely beautiful. Hey, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Exciting to be here, Todd. There is so much happening. But I want to go back to what you were just talking about with Igor and Larissa. And people say, well, wait a minute, because you said that so fast. Their 1-year anniversary is coming up. They're both getting ready to go 1-star and 2-star respectively. How are they doing this? So that's the question you guys should be asking. So if we look at this, and Todd knows them, he works with them all the time. I do a couple calls once in a blue moon, but I do know this. Todd, how are they doing it? Guys, they are flat out calling people. When they first started and they didn't have a group, what did they do? They just start contacting and inviting, contacting and inviting, contacting and inviting, contacting and inviting, contacting and inviting. That is the key to your success. If you're a great speaker like a Todd and you can, you just say the right things all the time, but you talk to nobody. And if I'm the guy and I don't speak very well and I don't put 2 sentences together, but I talk to 100 people every 2 weeks, every 30 days, every 60 days, I don't care how good Todd is, I'm going to create a bigger business than them. Now, Larissa and Igor, obviously, in their language, they speak well. In English, they even speak well, but they're contacting and inviting. So if I had to pick one thing, Todd, if you guys are listening, how are these guys doing this? How are they setting records in this company? How are they going to the top spot in this company? Guys, they're contacting and inviting. And then once they get people signed up, they're plugging their people in to the system that they have and they're sharing it. And then they're looking for other people that want to do this. Here's the thing. Most people get in, they're excited for a minute or two, and you talk to 1 or 2 people and it doesn't go the way you really want it to go. And then next thing you know, you're watching Netflix and you're back at doing, stuff that aren't income producing activities. You've got to get that list of 100 or 200 and you got to go through it. Todd, over the 35 years, almost 36 years we've been in this industry, I've seen this over and over again. There's two types of people: someone that signs up and they have a list of 100 names, and they go through that list in the first 2 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks. Within 30 days, they're gone through that list. So they've got a bunch of people in the pipeline, and now they're following up with those people. And then the other person, has a list of 100, and they take 2 years to go through that list. So if you're looking for, wait a minute, how did they become successful? I can guarantee they're talking to a lot more people than you are. And you got to understand this. I remember Todd telling the story about Igor at first when Tatiana, look, I got all these names now, Todd, it's pretty amazing. Tatiana was calling him. He didn't even want to pick up the phone. He knew she was calling about some, company or some business, etc. And he didn't even get on the phone until Larissa said, okay, she's calling about something. And I don't know whether it's a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, but two things happened there. Number one, Tatiana didn't give up because somebody said no or nobody took her call. She had the fortuitiveness to, hey, I know this guy has a potential to be good, and he could say yes, he could say no, but I'm gonna make sure he says one of them. Well, fortunately, she had the stick-to-itiveness to keep calling. He eventually picked up. Long story short, 1-star, 2-star ambassador in less than a year's time. So if you're looking for a message today, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to talk to more people. And I'm finding out, even 35, 36 years into this business, there are people everywhere that you can ask the question, do you like to travel? Are you going to travel somewhere? Something to do with travel. And that can get that conversation started. So don't think you don't have enough people. Don't think you don't have a list of people. There are a billion people out at the malls. There are a billion people out at the hotels. There are a billion people traveling. And I'm sure every one of you have hotels in your area, 4- and 5-star hotels, that you can go there and get a quick conversation going. And even if you can't articulate like we do at this time, if you do that every month for 2, 3, 4 months, you will have a system down in place so you'll know what to say, how to say it, and you'll be collecting more phone numbers than not. So, Todd, I just wanted to make sure when you hit that, how did these guys do it? That was one thing. The last thing, and I'm going to get off the call here, is I'll say this, is my grandson, before practice started, we always talk on the phone, and he sends me videos, and I give him encouragement because we've gone through this process with Aaron before. And I talked to him, and I said, what are you going to practice for? And he knows his answer is, Pops, that's what he calls me, Pops, I'm going to get better today. And so he knows that's his answer. I'm going to get better today. And he knows that because so many people go to practice and they just show up and go through the motions and they negotiate with other people. Hey, well, let's just kind of take it easy, etc. He knows I'm going to practice today to get better. And some of you guys need to do the exact same thing. What are you doing today? I'm going to get better in my Travorium business. I'm going to do some things that I need to do to create more success. I'm not just going to go through the weekend like I've done the last, weekend, the last month, the last 2 months, the last year. I'm going to do something to get better in my business. And Maria and I were talking about this yesterday as well. And she said, well, Daryl, because I knew I was going to talk a little bit about some of this scenario here. And she said, tell them that right now in your alarm, put an alarm at whatever time, either today should be because it's the weekend, and then 3 or 4 times during the week, put an alarm that you're going to X at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock on Tuesday or 7 o'clock tonight. I'm going to read 10 pages of a good book. I'm going to listen to 15 minutes of a good article. I'm going to go call 5 people. So set your alarms, do something so that you can get better today. Don't just go through the motion. Ask yourself that question. What am I going to do today to get better? What am I going to do to help grow my business? What am I going to do to create a financial fence around my home that nothing can penetrate? Ask that question to yourself, come up with the answers, and go to work. Todd, back to you. It's all yours. I'm going to take off and go watch practice over there, see what these guys are doing. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. If I can help in any way, please let us know.
Hey, great job, Daryl. And I love the intro because obviously it's all about asking better questions, right? That's Tony Robbins, right? A lot of times our success comes down to asking better questions in life. Too many people, why me, why this, instead of how can I do this, or how can I excel, how can I get better? It's about asking better questions. How did Eager and Larissa not? Well, I'm no good. Why are they so good? I'm not. That's a horrible question. Hey, what
Yeah.
are they doing that I can emulate? What are they doing that I can copy? Right? What was their secret? And I want to remind everyone that sometimes people, you're catching people in their fourth quarter when you're still in your first quarter, right? Or they're on, they've read the book Think and Grow Rich 50 times. You've not even read the book once yet. Eager and Larissa paid the price somewhere else, right? So they didn't come to our company completely green, not knowing what to do. Now, they'd already had some success in the industry before. They had some contacts. They already read the book Think and Grow Rich 50 times. I mean, so they had already developed the championship mindset. They were just looking for the environment and where they can, plant the seeds and go flourish, which is what they're doing. So number one, don't ever get hung up on comparatitis. Obviously, it's exciting, right? To say, hey, wow, my gosh, in 1 year, the number 3 income earners in the entire company, to be a 2-star ambassador in one league and one position, a 1-star ambassador in the other position. That's pretty phenomenal. But that's exciting, but you're not running a race against them or anybody else. You're just running your own race, right? For some of you, you don't even want to get to that rank. So I'm like, hey, I'm just be happy to be a 1-star director, a 2-star director, or make a little money. So everyone comes to the company with different expectations. So don't mistake any of the celebration that we're bringing up regarding them. Obviously, it is an amazing feat, though, that the first ever do it in that time frame. And so, it gives you another story you can tell when you're out there in the marketplace. Hey, there's this couple that are in our business, right? He had a construction business. She had a coffee shop. They immigrated here from Ukraine. English is their third language. They got, 5 kids. They're about to have a 6th kid, right? She's due any day. In the middle of all this, she's about to give birth to another kid. They homeschool. So these are busy people. Like, oh my gosh, 5 kids, a 6th on the way, homeschool, and they did all this in a year. And so, obviously it does show what 1 year can do. But for a lot of people, 1 year is not it's a realistic time frame. For many of you, you want to have a much longer view. It's not so much what can I do in 1 year, but what can I do in 5 years? Of course, for them, the same is true. They do that in 1 year. I can't even imagine where they're going to be in 5 years. They're going to be executive chairman is where they're going to be. So again, just celebrate. It's another story. You can tell people it's an incredible story, right? But again, each person's here to run their own race. You have your own individual goals. And for some of you, you don't want to be executive chairman, right? I'd be happy just to be an ambassador. I'd be happy, just to, be a 1-star, 2-star. Now, I do tend to believe that people who get on this training call tend to have some of the higher goals, or otherwise you wouldn't be giving up your Saturday, right? If you're here, you're probably someone that's thinking at least ambassador or higher. Usually that's the case, right? So do just, again, want to throw that out there. I know we had another rank advancement. I want to check real quick. Let's see if we have them here. We do. Hold on a second. Hey, Nick, I'm going to try to grab you right now real quick. Became a 2-star literally yesterday or today, but brand new 2-star in the business. We're going to bring them on real quick.
Awesome. Congratulations.
So this is Oksana and Nick, and you guys have met them before. Of course, you actually met them at Coach D's big event last March at her big training event that we did there in San Antonio, Texas with her and Pastor Mel, but they were both in attendance in that. Of course, they didn't get to come to Vegas because they were in Italy at the time, but then they were in Miami. Nick actually does a lot of translations for us as a company. There he is. Brand new, out of the box, brand new 2-star director. Hey, Nick, congratulations, my friend. Way to go.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Daryl. Was glad to be with you on the call. Yeah, just reached 2-star and just moving forward. This all trainings and everything, just participation, and it's all pays off. That's what I can tell. It's just a great company, great product. It's amazing. Love it.
Well, what's also awesome is that you're a 2-star, but obviously Oksana is a 2-star, getting close to being a 3-star, right?
Yes.
And I'll never forget. We used to bring Coach D and Pastor Guy. We used to introduce them because they did our Sunday fireside chat. And of course, at the time, Coach D was a 3-star and Pastor Guy was a 2-star, and I used to introduce them as 5-star directors. So right now you guys are 4-star directors. Your wife's a 2-star. You're a 2-star. Add that together, you're like, hey, we got the income of a 4-star director. We're about $4,000 a month, or $3,000 a month. We're in that neighborhood, right? And so
Right.
Again, so you guys have that double 2-star ambassadorship. You're both going to be sporting your own rings. Pretty incredible. Hey, Daryl, I think you were about to say something there. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I was just going to ask him. No, that's fine. I just wanted to ask Nick, what advice? Again, you guys are in the business. You're doing it step by step, day by day. What is your advice that you'd give someone that's either just getting started? That's one question, and then somebody that may have been in the business for 6 months to a year. What advice would you give them that it caused both of you guys to reach the levels you have so far?
I would say that would be consistency. What you just told, I mean, this is not just words, if you read that 10 pages of book, if you contact 5 people, if you like follow up with the people you already talked to, just say, hey, how you doing? Like, remember I told you about travel, do you have any questions? Just kind of like keep all your contacts warm, basically just keep in touch with people. And some people might not reply to you and you just like, well, I just keep contacting them every month. But in 4 or 5 months, I will tell you, hey, I think you talked to me about travel. Can you tell me more about it? I'm about to book something, and boom, that's perfect, moment, So, stay in touch with the people and be friendly and, stay consistent with everything that needs to be done, contact people, be on all the trainings, come to the events. And, I really loved the event that was in Miami, and I will be there. Daryl, I will see you there in January for sure. Be on a boat and be on a training, So that's just to
Also,
stay
well,
plugged in, man.
guys, again, listen to what he said, because what he said is exactly 100% that $1 million earners would say exactly that he said as well. You have to be consistent. That's a challenge that most people have. They get excited for a day or two or a week or two, and then whatever happens, happens. Then they are out for a day or two or a week or two. Then they come back and try and do something. I'd rather you do just a little bit every single day than to have a moment and then stop, and then a moment and then stop. So what he said, be consistent. That is the number one thing. Number two thing is follow up. Follow up. Sometimes it takes a while. Todd and David and Gina and Della, they had to follow up with Marie and I for years to get in the business, because we were busy. We were doing other things. We were having success. We were, making things happen. We weren't just sitting there waiting for Todd and David and Gina and Della to call us. But they kept on following up. Daryl, here's what we got. Daryl, here's what we're doing. Daryl, you need to take a look at this. Daryl, anytime something happened, anytime something new. So the second thing, follow up. It's not a one-time thing. Some of you, if they're not ready to go, my buddy Herbert, he said, if they're not ready to go, fine. Next, I'm moving on. And I just tried to encourage them a couple of days ago. No, because some things might be happening in their life, and you could be missing out on, a Nick coming in your business. You could be missing out on a Todd Strand coming in your business. So follow up, consistency, be consistent, follow up, great training. And then the last thing he said right there at the end, you have to plug in. And when you plug in consistently, your life is going to change in 2 to 5 years. I promise you, with what we have. So great training. Thank you very much, Nick. Todd, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to be out of here. I got to go watch some baseball with my grandson. And thanks, Nick, for those great things that we all can use to make our business grow bigger and faster.
Thank you, Daryl.
Hey, incredible.
Awesome.
Hey, go enjoy, buddy. Nick, congratulations again to you and Oksana. I know we got you on here today as 2-star. We'll have her back here in a very short period of time, and she's hoping by Thanksgiving. I know she wrote, but have her back as a 3-star. Then you guys will be 5 stars. But again, unbelievable. The whole thing is that everybody that's out sharing the business consistently is getting a result. Now you might be thinking, well, Todd, I've been sharing the business consistently, but I don't have a result yet. And here's what I want to remind you guys, that consistent activity does not produce consistent results, but it always produces success. I'll say that one more time. Consistent activity does not produce consistent results, but it always produces success. And this is what we call that, the latent potential, right? And so sometimes there's this kind of delayed effect, right? You might be doing the work and you're not seeing anything, right? But you're like the farmer that's out planting the seeds. Hey, I don't see any crop. I don't see any harvest, right? If you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, right? And you're reading 10 pages of a good book, as Nick just mentioned, you're listening to 15 minutes of audio, right? You're working on your skills, you're doing 3-ways, you're doing third party, those kinds of things, then you are in fact eventually going to get the result. It is an absolute universal law of sowing and reaping. You cannot continuously sow without eventually reaping. And part of the test of this industry, I think, of life, is can I continue to do the right things even when the wrong things are happening? And it's almost a test of attitude. There's only two things you can ever control in this life. One is your effort, and the other is your attitude. It's about 90% of, how we respond. It's 10% of what happens to us, and 90% how we respond to what happens to us, how we interpret what happens to us. There she is. Hey, Oksana.
Exactly, Todd. I want to just also tell one thing, just kind of draw another picture. If you put fresh cucumbers in a jar with the salt, they will get pickled. They want it or not. I mean, every time you do the consistent thing, you in the same atmosphere, the results will come.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I was at the other Zoom and just finished joining here with Nick. Thank you so much for all your congratulations. We're so happy. And Todd, you're so right. If we keep on telling people, they will come to our business. We recently signed up a girl. I told her first time 14 months ago. And only last week she signed up. So whatever you teach really works. So thank you so much for everything you do. And we are so happy to be in the business together with leaders like you and Gina, Daryl and Maria, and David and Adela Hart, Coach D, and everybody who we met back at the event we had in March with Coach D. That was our first event. We went there, we got pumped up. And since that event, we started going. And now here we are.
Which is obviously another huge, rule, guys. The people who get plugged in, not only just to the Zooms on a weekly basis, whether it be the corporate update with our CEO founder or the training call on Saturday or the calls, throughout the week and team calls and all those other kind of things that go on. But the people who get plugged into the big events, right? The event with Coach D, the event we had in Miami, the event we had in Las Vegas, right? We have another event coming up in Miami. We have an all-day training. We have the yacht, the people who plug into that. Guys, that wasn't even a year ago. You guys were just brand new. Now you're both 2 stars. Oksana, you're about to go 3-star. Yeah. And people are like, wait a minute, hold on. My gosh, they got like $5,000 a month coming in their business. Yeah, guys, this doesn't cost you money to go to the events. It costs you money if you don't go to the events, right? You're simply investing in your future bank account, right? Would you invest in your future bank account, right? And so it's a way of looking at it, but you guys are doing it. You guys are incredible, examples for all to look to of just doing it, being consistent. We love you guys and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Hey, by the way, guys, real quick, I'll show you guys just a couple slides. I didn't get to finish it. I didn't get to pull all the pictures up, right? But I think a lot of you guys know we were in Madrid, Spain. But we just got back, like a day ago. So we were in Madrid for the week. And rather kind of incredible story of how that even happened. We were home, it was Thursday, normal Thursday, right? I got, my Zooms, I got my phone calls, I got this, I got that, right? You're doing your thing like we all are. And Gina gets a call from Miss Adela. And of course, these two are, incredible friends, right? And Miss Adela's like, hey, we never got to have coffee in Madrid, Spain, like we always talked about. Would you like to come to Madrid, Spain and have coffee? Now, guys, how many people get invited to Madrid, Spain to have coffee? So why not? So we hop on an airplane. Of course, we were having a big event with our team there in Spain that David and Adele are going to be doing. So we hop on an airplane. So we find out Thursday, like late afternoon. And so we're packing, right? We book a ticket out of LAX. We drive up to LAX at midnight. We're going to stay at the hotel the night before. Our flight's at like 5 a.m. So we sleep in the hotel for like 2 hours, right? We go and then we fly. We land at basically 7 a.m. Madrid time. Of course, the event started at 9:30. Of course, we go to the event. Of course, we saw a lot of the people there, obviously from the team in Spain. That was awesome because there was people there from Germany, people there from Dubai, people there from Poland, all part of our Slavic team. They had a huge group in the room that was incredible, meeting a lot of them for the very first time, right? And then I got to go to the corporate offices. We were working on all kinds of huge announcements that are forthcoming here in January. And guys, I'm just going to tell you that we are doing things in compensation that have never, ever been done before right this moment. And we are about to do some things in compensation that have never, ever been done before, right? I mean, it's going to be absolutely blow you away. But here we are. This is at the corporate offices in Madrid, Spain, this very moment. You can see the bags under everybody's eyes, well, at least me and David, right? Because, I mean, we hadn't slept in days. But anyway, that's Amelia. She obviously is a 20-year veteran in the travel business. I mean, she's incredible. Speaks multiple languages, like four languages plus 5, 4 or 5, can't remember. You start losing track, right? But here's David again. This is in the conference room there where we domicile the office for the corporation there in Madrid, Spain. Me and Dave went to this Japanese restaurant, and I just couldn't help myself, right? I mean, it's just they brought these bibs out. We're like, are we really supposed to put these on? And so I had my bib on, he had his bib on, but I was the guy taking the picture, right? So anyway, there's a picture of that, right? Another picture of the corporate office. Here's just a great dinner with John and Jacob, right, guys? We were just having an amazing time. And of course, I'm not even showing you all the pictures of just how unbelievable Madrid, Spain is if you've never seen it, right? And at the end of this event, right, we're getting ready to fly home. And I sent this picture to our daughters, right? My wife's probably down there like, I cannot believe he just put this picture up here. But I mean, guys, we were exhausted. I mean, we hadn't slept in days. It was go, go, go. We get to the airport to fly home. And after a few days here in Madrid, or a week in Madrid, this is what it looks like, right? But when we were on the plane, I wrote a story. I wrote this script, kind of a story, right? We all know that facts tell and, stories sell. And I wrote the script, and of course, I'll send you guys the script. I've actually written it out. I'll send you guys the slides, if you guys have some success with it. I've already said to David, David Hart, you'll see maybe the company wants to develop this into a full-blown video, but it's just another way of helping people understand our business, right? And so again, facts tell, stories sell. And so this is just really kind of a story about Blockbuster Video. So Blockbuster Video was founded in 1985. They had 80,000 employees, 9,000 stores. They were doing $5.9 billion per year in sales. If you wanted to rent, a movie, it cost money. If you wanted to rent 2 movies, it cost twice as much money. If you want to rent 3 movies, it costs 3 times as much money. If you want to rent 4 movies, it costs 4 times as much money. But in 1997, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph asked, what if we charge a monthly fee and let people watch unlimited movies? Well, that company was founded in 1997 was Netflix, right? And again, Netflix came on the scene, and what happens next? Well, Blockbuster ends up going bankrupt, and Netflix becomes a $32 billion per year company with 247 million subscribers. Now, understand, Netflix does not make money selling movies. Netflix makes money selling a membership that allows you to watch an unlimited number of movies. So here's the question. What if you took the Netflix model and you applied it to the largest industry in the world, the travel industry, right? And if you look at the travel industry, it's an industry that is ripe for a new model. Since 1758, 265 years, people have booked travel the exact same way. People have gone into the brick and mortar travel agencies. And of course, most recently, they go to the online travel agency, but it's the same model. If a trip costs the agency $1,000, they might sell it to you for $2,000. That's how they make their money. If you want 2 trips, it costs twice as much. If you want 3 trips, it costs 3 times as much. If you want 4 trips, it costs 4 times as much. But every time you book travel, the agencies get paid. Well, that is until 2013 when Mr. David Hart, right, who was once a finalist for Entrepreneur of the Year, Inc. magazine in California, said, what if, like Netflix, we charge a monthly fee and we allow consumers to book travel without any markup? The company would not make 1 penny selling travel. Instead, they would make their money, like Netflix, selling a membership that allowed consumers to save up to 70%. Well, what do you think is going to happen next? Blockbuster didn't see it coming. And I guarantee you the travel industry doesn't see it coming. The biggest question is, do you? Right? And, for those of you that like travel, this industry, again, is long overdue for a change. And we invite you to learn more about our membership and how you can save up to 70% on travel, how you can partner with our company on a part-time basis, allowing you to turn passion into profit and adventure into a way of life, right? And so, guys, I'm going to kind of record this into a little, 2-3 minute, Zoom presentation. I'll give you guys the link. You can use it, play it. I'll send you the slides. I can send you the verbatim script. And again, hopefully if you have some success with it, then, maybe the company might turn that into an actual video that you guys can go out there and use in the marketplace, right? But it's nothing more than just telling a story that helps people understand, who we are and what we do and how big it is. And so often people get hung up on those two questions. Well, hold on, how are you saving people money on travel? That's a big question that people get hung up on. And then the other one, which surprises the heck out of me, is how many people have been hung up on, well, how's your company making money? I mean, I've never seen so many people so worried about our company making money. It's like, if you had any idea the kind of money the company's making, trust me, you would not be asking that question. But they do ask that question. And sometimes when you just tell the Netflix story, like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I understand that, because they remember a Blockbuster Video. Most people do. They had it in the UK and even throughout Europe, Blockbuster Video. Of course, everybody had video rental, but Blockbuster was kind of the one brand that most people recognized. And of course, obviously, you had to pay as you went. And so, you had to pay for every time you wanted to see a movie. And of course, that added up and got expensive. So this model of just pay the flat monthly fee and I could watch all the movies I wanted was attractive to people, right? There were no late fees and late return rentals and all those other kind of things that initially played into it. Then, of course, when the whole thing went streaming, it took it to a whole new level. But in a similar fashion, if you're somebody who likes to travel, I mean, if you have to pay the markup on travel every time you book a trip, it gets outrageously expensive. Now, I'm the first to tell people, if you're someone that you travel once every 2 years, right? That's it. You don't take a big trip. It's just a small trip and you have no interest in making money. Well, then our membership is probably not for you. But for those people out there who do like to travel, just like if you don't like to watch movies, then you probably don't have a Netflix membership, right? But for those who do like to travel, which is most of the planet, single largest industry in the world, again, this is an industry that is ripe for a brand new model, a brand new way of doing things. And we sit here today on this particular Zoom, and we are officially now 37 days from Christmas. We are 44 days from Happy New Year. We are less than a week away from Turkey Day, right? So, by the way, Happy Thanksgiving. I kind of debated, do I do that today or next Saturday? Because we'll have our training call next Saturday. But again, guys, Happy Thanksgiving to each and every single one of you. We'll be doing this again, next week as well. But I know we leave our family. We've rented this huge house in the Poconos. Our whole family's going to be there. The kids, the grandkids were unbelievably fired up. In fact, I even had this just unbelievable, adorable conversation with my grandson last night. He's 9 years old, right? But he texted me just completely out of the blue. I get this old text from him. He's wearing 9 pairs of glasses. It's like, hold on, here it is. Here we go. So this is him, right? And he's wearing 6 pairs of glasses, excuse me. So that's his face behind him wearing 6 pairs of glasses. And we're having the conversation. And of course, we're back and forth. I said, by the way, I miss you, buddy. He's like, aren't you coming on the trip to Pennsylvania? And he's just so excited. You can't stand it, right? He's been counting down the days, this kind of thing. And I'm like, of course I'm going to be on the trip, right? In fact, that's part of the reason we came back from Spain early is because of this trip. Otherwise, we'd have stayed over there in Europe a little bit longer. So we rented this big house. And we're going to have the whole family there. But again, guys, that's less than a week away. But the reason I bring this up is that the holidays, that is the number one time of year that you can reach out to anyone and everyone that you've ever met in your entire life. Be a human being first and a marketer second. You can reach out and say, hey, Nick, Oksana, man, my gosh, guys, it's been 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I mean, hey, I saw your name, happy Thanksgiving. How are you and your family? How are the kids? I've seen the pictures. I'm getting caught up. I mean, you see, you guys have been traveling. I mean, so it's so easy this time of year to reach out, especially now. You want to do it now. Why? Because you get to do it multiple times. I not only get to say Happy Thanksgiving, but I get to turn around and say Happy Holidays. Then I get to turn around and say Merry Christmas. Then I get to turn around and say Happy New Year. Then I get to turn around and say, hey, did you set any New Year's goals, any New Year's resolutions? And so you guys should be opening up your phones and saying, hey, how many contacts do I have in my phone, right? And how many of these numbers are still actually working? Now, you may not know that you can do this, but you can go to contacts in your phone. I'm doing it mine right now. I'm going to go like this. You guys are going to see I've met a few people over time. Hold on. So I'm doing the contacts on my phone, scrolling down. Cool. Not sure where that number came from. It's saying I have 71 contacts on my phone. I actually have like 13,000 or 14,000. I'm not quite sure why it's saying 71 right now. In fact, if you just scroll the list, you can tell I got more than 71. I mean, it just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. I'm scrolling. I'm still in the W's, right? Scroll. So I'm not sure. But usually when you go to the bottom of it, they'll tell you how many contacts on your phone. Mine's like 13 to 14,000 people. I mean, these are people I met over time and different things, and some of the Facebook stuff that downloaded in here where there's not even a number attached, right? So there's, I got to clean some of that up. But I mean, again, you start combing through your phone, man. Who have I not reached out to in forever? Who can I just send a text message to? And again, that message can be as simple as, hey, hey, we're, this is Nick and Oksana Davidson. Don't know if you remember us. I don't know if this is still the good phone number. So I mean, you could put your name in there in case they forgot who you were. Maybe it's been so long, your number's not in their new phone. So when you reach out, hey, mention your name out of the gate. Hey, this is Nick and Oksana. We want to reach out to you and say happy holidays. Saw your name. Not even sure if this number still works for you, but I saw your name and I thought, oh my gosh, been forever. Happy Thanksgiving. How you been? Guys, it's all about becoming a professional conversation starter. That's all this is. You heard Daryl talk about that earlier. How can I start more conversations? How can I get those conversations going with people where obviously from there, as I'm having those conversations, things are going to come up about life, right? And of course, you want to do what we call form, which is family, occupation, recreation, money. And if I base the conversations on, oh my gosh, Oksana, how's your family? Really? Yeah. What are you guys doing? Where are you working? Right? That's obviously occupation, right? Are you guys traveling? That's recreation, right? Are you guys, got any big plans? You doing this, you doing that? Any big goals for the new year, right? You can kind of, put some things out there that may lead to money, where they make comments about money and maybe where they're at or where they got a surplus or, oh my gosh, your prices are so high. I mean, you can kind of do different things that kind of bait people maybe into a money conversation. Like, oh my gosh, I can't, I barely survive on these. I mean, just, they'll give commentary that may give you an idea of where things are at. And it's not that you need to pounce today. Again, be a human being first, a marketer second. That's about connecting with people, creating a connection. And when you talk to people, even when you go online, and I talk to people and I meet them, I talk to people like I've known them my whole life. I mean, the second I meet somebody, hey, Nick, man, how are you, man? Good to talk to you. Nice to meet you. So, hey, Nick, tell me about your family. So have a conversation with somebody like they're your best friend you haven't seen in 12 months, and you're getting caught up on their life. And Nick, give me the updates. And you got 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? And, that's a divine clue from God, right? Do twice as much listening as you do talking. And as you do that, obviously, and you're having those conversations, this is going to lead to great things, even if it's not today. Again, we got Thanksgiving. We've got the holidays, because people say happy holidays during the holidays. Then obviously you can come back again and say Merry Christmas. And then you can come back again and say Happy New Year. And then you can come back again and say, hey, by the way, did you set any New Year's goals, any New Year's resolutions? You got any big plans? Do you have any hairy, audacious goals, as some people say, right? Anything big you're striving for this year? And so again, these are all touch points that you have. This is the number one time a year. I don't care how long it's been since you talked to someone, to just reach out and connect. And the more you connect, the harder you work, the luckier you're going to get. And so there is no magic to the business. No one's figured it out. I told that story about Jeff Olson not that long ago, one of the greatest networkers in the history of our industry, and how he built the second largest team in the history of Europe, and how the whole thing happened. If you guys weren't here to recount, hear the story, but he ended up at this trade show by fluke, and he's across from the bear guy, and this guy dressed up in a bear suit staring people down, and Jeff turned and said, hey, would you mention some great propaganda? I mean, that was his line. Would you be interested in some great propaganda? And there was this doctor. He's like, hey, you might be the only honest person in the place. And the doctor goes to the meeting, he gets signed up, and then they're opening up Germany, and then Germany gets delayed. And, he's asking everyone on the team, do you know anyone? Do you know anyone? Do you know anyone? He's just networking through the team. He's taprooting. Because remember, every time you bring somebody new into your team, you get all of their contacts, not just your contacts, right? if I were to go out and sponsor Nick and Oksana, well, hey, if I've got 1,000 people on my phone, of course, I actually got, a lot more than that, but hey, Nick and Oksana, how many do you have in your phone? Well, if they get a few people up, how many people do they have in their phone? And part of learning to network is tap rooting and helping those people make the connections with their people, right? This is how you get this ever growing, ripple effect. It's the social sharing ripple effect. That's how Facebook and Instagram got 3 billion users, even though they've never, ever advertised in any way, shape, or form, ever, right? They got 3 billion users, 40% of the population, because they were basically tapping into each person's network, right? And some of us knew the same people. People got hit up multiple times to come to Facebook, to come to Instagram, right? So if I didn't accept the first invitation or the second invitation or the third invitation, by the time I got Coach D's invitation, right, my gosh, I mean, everyone's doing this thing. I mean, I got one from everyone. I got one coming from Coach D and Pastor Bill, and I got one coming from Dr. Renee. I mean, maybe I just joined this thing. I mean, everyone in the world seems to be doing it. And so as that happens over time, more and more people join the network. Well, again, so you can taproot through people. But again, this is that time of year that you can reach out to anyone and everyone. Now, I'm going to give you guys some lines you can use. We were going to do this a couple of weeks ago. And then, of course, we kind of lost track of time. We got into some pretty deep conversations. Of course, then last week, I know we were celebrating, obviously, Coach D and Pastor Guy's promotion, becoming one-star ambassadors. And of course, again, guys, I mentioned it earlier, facts tell, stories sell. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I told the Coach D, Pastor Guy story, because I've done this industry 29 years full-time, and you try to reach people in a lot of different ways. You teach people, about Warren Buffett's quote. I would, if you don't find a way to make money, and this is Warren Buffett, the 5th richest man in the world. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until the day you die, right? So you hit people with that quote. Well, then you got J. Paul Getty. I'd rather earn 1% off the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. Now, they're both saying the same thing. You got Robert Kiyosaki with Cash Flow Quadrant. He's the guy that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the financial guru of our time. And he outlines why only 5% of the population controls 95% of the money, and the other 95% of the population controls 5% of the money. He outlines that. The 95% that only control 5% of the money, and that's not the category you want to be in. I want to be in one of the 5% that control 95%. But the only difference is they have a job, right? They don't have a way of making money, whether they work or not. That's what the whole cash flow quadrant's all about. And you can hit people with all three, and it's like they're just stone cold faced. But then if you tell people a story, right, and it's a real story, and an unbelievable story about Pastor Guy and Pastor Deborah Taylor. In fact, I'll bring on Coach D here as I'm telling the story, but she worked for 2 different, White House administrations. She worked in the Bush White House and the Obama White House, right? So right there out of the gate, really, okay. And then, of course, Pastor Guy, they're both pastors, and he was having some health issues and, needed a kidney transplant. And then eventually he got one, and, but he was going through some, some tough times and things like that. Of course, that led to some tough economic times, got medical bills piling up, and now she's no longer, in DC working for the White House. And so, you got, bills piling up, and people, real people can picture this kind of scenario. Man, gosh, the bills are piling up and medical situations, and now I don't have money coming in, but they love to travel. And I tell people, we walk by faith, not by sight. And so they took a chance, and Deborah signed up first, got involved in the company, went out and told 3. Well, when you tell 3, what's this membership costing you on your credit card on an ongoing basis? Approximately nothing. Well, she's got all these travel points coming in every month, right? And they start to take trips. Well, her husband says, hey, I think I'm going to sign up. And he signs up, and he tells 3. And between the 2 of them, they were, travel guy and travel girl. By the way, people love that. Every time I mention that, people, because it's just so real. I mean, it's real people, real life, right? Obviously, they're in their 60s and, want to go some places and have some fun, especially when you're thinking about having some health challenges as we get older. And how many years do I got? And all those kind of things. It starts to run through your mind. How many good years left do I have? And so it's just real life. Travel guy and travel girl, and they're going places, having fun. And of course, their family sees them traveling all over the place. They were living in resorts, visiting home, and people are like, man, hey, what are you guys doing? Well, we got this travel thing going. And so they got signed up, and next thing you know, Coach D's a 3-star director making a few grand a month. And, Pastor Guy's a 2-star director making a couple grand a month. And then, then the health challenges came back, and Pastor Guy goes to be with the Lord. And so, he's at $2,000 a month, but then, 21 months later, he becomes an ambassador in our company. And then, of course, last week, he becomes a 1-star ambassador in our company. And it's now been how many months, Coach D, since Guy passed? Is it 31, somewhere in there?
2.5 years. He passed May 3rd, 2021.
Yeah. So I've been telling people about 30, 31 months. I mean, so in 2.5 years from his passing, he goes from, a 2-star director, $2,000 a month, to a 1-star ambassadors. And those can be 130 to 150 grand a year, right? I mean, you can be talking as much as 13 grand a month. I mean, so to go out and increase your income by any measure of that, I mean, guys, that's almost twice. Pastor Guy has increased his income by twice what the average American household even makes. And when people hear that story, I mean, they're flabbergasted. It's like everything else I said didn't mean anything. I didn't register in any way, shape, or form. Like, wait a minute, hold on. He's still getting paid? Yes. I mean, have you not heard the presentation I'm giving here? I mean, I've done an entire presentation about this, right? You didn't catch anything until I told that one story. And that was like the first moment, like, he's still getting paid? Hold on, the check went up? And that story, somebody gets them to realize that there are models out there that are superior to the old model of if I don't work, I don't get paid. And so, guys, again, facts tell, stories sell. It's one of those stories that you want to know. And obviously, you got the double ambassadorship, because obviously, Coach D's an ambassador. She'll soon be a 1-star in her own right. Eventually, Guy will be a 2-star. I mean, they're going to keep, like the Jeffersons, moving on up. And so, anyway, I was on the call last week, Coach D, as you were talking, but we were at the event in Spain, and of course, Daryl and Maria were waiting for me to come on camera, and then everyone was talking so much. Eventually, I had to go in front of the room, and then I didn't get to hear the rest of it. But I did want to obviously congratulate you myself. It's one of the most phenomenal stories that most people have ever heard in the history of our industry, and it's the one story after 29 years of trying to reach people about the power of what it is we do. That's the story that seems to connect with people in a way where they, for the first time, it's like, wow. I mean, they just, it's like the rest of it, they didn't fully understand or hear. And for the first time, it's like, that is incredible. We even had a guy just yesterday, me and Daryl were talking to, and the guy was basically telling us, nah, not interested. Told him that story. He's like, wait a minute, hold on. See, you're telling me this is a legacy. This money keeps coming in. It's like, we must have said that 10 times. He never heard it. And you left it to the granddaughters, Gracie and Ava, and they're 4 and 6. And you put the money in a trust account, and they are now millionaires by the time they touch the money. And so, I mean, think about that. I mean, Pastor Guy, and one last moment of time, one last push, one last effort, one last thing that I can do while I'm here on planet Earth. I mean, he had a lot of fun going on tons of trips, right, and doing the calls, but that one last push has set his granddaughters up to be millionaires. I mean, guys, think about that for a moment. I mean, it boggles the mind, but hey, I give the floor to you.
Ooh, you make that story sound so good. There's always, there's always the backstory. Me and David talk about that, the trials, the tribulations, the backstory was I was in the hospital and I came home and found him gone. And some of the other backstory with all of that, but it really has to do with being consistent. And no matter how sick he got, no matter what adversities, no matter what things we went through, we just stayed consistent. And one of the consistent things that him, Adela, and David and I shared was legacy. He wanted to make sure that he left, because of the twins, they would always talk about the children. And so that was really important to David, and that was really important to Guy. And David told him, if you get the 2-star and something happens, you know, you'll be okay. And so he did. And what I'm gonna say about that, because a lot of people ask me about that, and now I have a lot of network marketers and people outside of Travorium contacting me because they want to know if I'm really getting paid. I'm really getting paid.
That's pretty funny.
Are you really getting paid? Yes. And when it happened, David was in Spain, and of course we were talking, and I said, this is not only a historical event for our family, it's a historical event for Travorium, because what I'm hearing is that there's no company that I know of, or some of the people that I've known that's been in network marketing as long as you, where the CEO continues to pay the spouse um, after that person leaves. Uh, they always try to find a way to get out of doing it. And so Travorium has been faithful. David has been committed to ensuring and even giving me advice of what to do. Um, and so I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I am so very proud of Nick and his wife. I remember when they did come to the conference in March. March 24th, 2024 is going to be amazing. Miami's going to be amazing. But you got to be consistent. To all the partners out there, yeah, me and Guy have a great story, but we went through some things. And even when you're going through some things, that what I try to teach the team is to stay focused and be good. And one of the things you talked about today is that I've been teaching, be good at making new friends. Be good at making friends and reconnecting with friends. And we had a young woman who just came back, kind of building her business. And so she started on her phone and she did A's, B's, C's. And I think she got to the D's. And she, a young woman, she hadn't talked to in 20 years, 20 years, answered the phone. And so they got to talking. And that young woman is now in our business. And so what you're saying is true. We're in a season. I built my whole business from an ICU hospital room, through Facebook, through my phone. I had an Android, and now I have iPhone because I kept blowing up the Android. But so I would just say that, it is a great story. I'm super proud. I had no idea that Guy would pass me in his book of business, but there was a group, and you're going to love this, Todd. You're going to love this, because Todd and Guy are avid football fans. He loves the Chicago Bears, and Guy loves the Green Bay Packers. And they got a rivalry. And right before Guy business changed, I watched it. There was a group of football players, retired football players, who came into his line of business. And they came in through a woman, not a foot, right? And that began to transcend. And then there was Dr. Renee, and there was some other people who came, and they transcended that weak leg in his business. And so what happened is it just pushed him, and you want to acknowledge the team, and I take no, it happened organically, but you never know. What I'm trying to get to is you never know who knows who, because Alicia bought in Dr. Renee through Facebook, through following some direction that I gave her to start in a process of recruiting. I gave it to Alicia. Dr. Renee saw it, and the rest was kind of history. And so beginning to work with that team, and I'm tell people, if this happens, because you don't have to pass, you just can transfer it, but you got to keep working it, And one thing that David made me realize is I continue to work it. So I work both businesses. I work his business and my business. So you got to continue working it, but it is kind of organically growing, by itself. Some great people have come in. Keith Brown is over there. and a strong leg. I mean, it's like I didn't go recruit any of those people. God did. You understand what I'm saying? So you never know who's going to come in your book of business. You never know who knows who, and you never give up. Never give up, y'all. Never get up, because somebody knows somebody who knows somebody, and they may come and they will change your business overnight. I'm telling you what I know. People say I'm lucky, but I'm blessed. You know, David said, I've never seen nobody can find folk like that find you, but people find me. People are watching you. People are watching this, right? And to all of those people who I was thinking about, the people who bought me in business, bought me over here the other night, and it made me cry, because you know what? Me and Guy make over $200,000 together over that. But how much would they have made if they had a stuck and stayed? Shame on you. And then to just, sometimes you just got to drop your ego and say, hey, I'm ready to come back. So if you're out there, you're listening, and you were in Travorium when it was whatever, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you got to be able to say, hey, I suck it up. I done been in multiple companies. I done did this. I done did that. Suck it up and come back. If you're not working your business, just start working your business. Just start sharing, like Todd said. Send happy thanks. I make little happy Thanksgiving cards and Christmas cards and all of those sorts of things for people. You know, hey, I'm praying for you and your family during this season. I'm grateful for you. And you know, me and Gracie gonna be together next week. We gonna make us some Travorium commercials. You know what I mean? They love Travorium. That 5-year-old, they 5 and 6 now. I have to remember that, but they gonna be together. Oh, we gonna have us a great time, because they understand that Gigi can get them to go anywhere they want to go. And that is important to them at that age, that they're able to tell their friends that I went to Colombia or I went to Mexico. Like Ava called the other day to say, I want to go to Hawaii. What 5-year-old wants to go to Hawaii? But she know that she can. She heard some people talking about Hawaii, and she decided she don't want to go back to Mexico. She want to go to Hawaii. And so do that, make new friends, y'all. This is the season. I want to give a shout out to our group last night. They did a game night. Don't do the traditional, maybe do something out of the box. So they did a game night in Mississippi last night. And it was absolutely amazing, but it was a travel mixer. So they did the business, and then they had a game night, right? It looked exciting. Now people are going to see this, and guess what? The next time they have a game night, it's probably going to be more people are going to come. The next time they have a game, well, because it's out of the box. Do something that's out of the box. Step out of the box. Step out of your comfort zone. We are running. We are focused as a team. I know Igor and Larissa is focused as a team. I know Cynthia is focused as a team. I know people are just focused. Danny, we're all focused, because that's what we need to do. And so never, ever, because when you're scattered and you're not focused, you'll never hit the prize. I said, when I saw my friends ranking up, I said, somebody gonna rank up in here in this before Thanksgiving. And so I just got focused. And that's it, Todd. I just want the team to know that you got to just reach out to reach out to old friends, but create new friends. Create new friends. The Bible says that the scripture about being friendly, to get friends or whatever. I'm kind of lucid today, but you got to make friends to get friends. You got to make friends. And as you begin to make relationships, this business is about relationship. There's a lady who joined the other night. She said, well, I'm not really joining, but I'm going to join the business to help you, because I'm in relationship with you. I've had people call me and join and never saw a presentation until they got in, because They follow my life on Facebook. I just want a piece of your life. So don't be afraid to post. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to do any of that. But know that if something was to happen, that you are in a good place, but you still got to work it. You still have to be committed to working that partner's business. And I'm very committed to that. I work with everybody in his book of business that will work
As you
with me.
described that book of business, right? And I think about Dana Maria's book of business, and I think about Danny's book of business, and our book of business, and and most of the ambassadors. I think that most people would be surprised to know that I didn't know 99% of the people that are in the business today when we started. When we started, I had never met any of them in my life, right? And so often, guys, you're thinking, well, I don't have the contacts. I don't have a big enough list. That's okay. As I mentioned, if you recruit Coach D, well, now you have all her contacts. I mean, you would, if you had recruited Coach D into the business, her whole book of business would be below you. I just got to go build the other side. And so as you go out, you're just making friends, meeting people, be a human being first, marketer second, and try to be a better human being. Smile. I mean, guys, smile. I mean, it helps if you smile. I mean, smiling is going to get you a lot further than frowning, right? You want to hear about my business? Not really. I mean, it's like, you don't even look excited about it. Why should I be excited about it? But I am excited. Well, tell your face. Tell your face that you're excited. And so, I mean, go out and, be you, times two, right? I mean, be loud, be proud, be bold, right? But, but if you just go hold the door open for somebody and let somebody, cut in front of you in a grocery store line, or do those kinds of things, right? Where you're just in the business of making people smile. You're on the interstate. Hey, you go ahead of me. You go first, right? I mean, just do little things. Oh, thank you. That make people say, oh, thank you. Get in the habit of making people smile. Get in the habit of asking them, hey, how are you today? That kind of thing. If you read the account in the Bible where Jesus taught them, hey, go the extra mile. In the biblical times, all of the Roman soldiers could demand of anyone that you carry their backpack, which was heavy, for 1 mile. Of course, but if you just do what's required, there's no favor, there's no blessing in what's required. It's when you go the extra mile. That's what Jesus taught to do, go the extra mile, because it's in the extra mile. Oh, hey, you don't have to do that no more. That's okay. I'll care for you a little further. Really? Well, wow, thank you. It's in that wow, thank you, in that wow. I mean, now you strike up a conversation. They kind of feel, well, hey, and this is a pretty nice person. Carry my backpack. Don't have to do that. I think I like Coach D. I think I like Nick and Oksana. I think I like, Alicia Davis, right? And so in that extra mile, that little bit of extra, that's where you're going to find that blessing. That's where you're going to connect with people. And again, just be a human being first, marketer second, like people, want to bless people. And if you're a true servant leader, remember, it's about their timing, not yours. I understand we all want them to join today so bad. Why can't you see it today? Because sometimes it's just not their season yet, right? It's not their moment. I mean, Cynthia was here for a couple of years before she got going. It wasn't her season yet. Danny was here for a year before he got going. It wasn't his season yet. There's, I know my buddy Mark Robinson, who got signed up. I mean, he was here. I was talking to him for 9 years before he got signed up to get going. It just wasn't his season yet. So, sometimes it takes time, but as Coach D said, that part of the secret is to stick around long enough, right? And as people see you doing this over and over again, you start to win them over with your persistency, your consistency. Because we've all seen that person like, okay, guys, I'm going vegan. I'm going to run a marathon. And people are like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. We'll see if you're still on that diet in 30 days, right? We'll still see if you're still doing that in 60 days. We'll see if you're still doing that in 6 months. And as you meet that rare individual who decides, I'm going to stick and stay, and you keep going to the gym every day, and you're doing it after a year, like, wow. I mean, the results are showing up, and people are like, man, you look great. You've really stuck with that thing, huh? And then they begin to admire you. They went from like, we'll see if they stick with it. Now they've gone from that, maybe potentially, I don't mean mocking you, but, kind of like, we'll see if they stick with it, right? But, but they're now admiring you, like, wow, you really stuck with that. I mean, that's all. I mean, good for you. And you're starting to win them over, right? And so, guys, sometimes it's just being persistent and consistent long enough, right? I do want to pull up on the screen a couple of great scripts that we had. One came from a brand new person that Daryl Maria had in their business. I just absolutely love this script. This was a posting they did on their social media page. I think we've shared this before, but if we didn't, I'm just going to cover a couple of these real quick. But here it is on the screen, guys. Literally discover the most incredible way to save insane amounts on travel. Tell me where you would go if you could afford it, question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, the reason that I think is so great is that it creates intrigue, right? Literally discover the most incredible way to save insane amounts on travel. Well, really, what did you discover? How'd you do that? I mean, it automatically invokes. It doesn't sound as salesy, right? Hey, contact me to find out how you can save 75% today. But wait, there's more. We'll throw in a new Cuisinart. I mean, sometimes you can sound a little salesy versus this sounds a little bit more authentic and like a surprise, like literally discover the most incredible way to save insane amounts of money on travel. Then the second part, equally good. Tell me where you would go if you could afford it. Because now you're invoking engagement. You're getting people, oh my gosh, I would go here, I would go here, I'd go here, I'd go here, I'd go here, right? And then as all these people are posting, you can reply back to their post. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. That's incredible. You can reach out and connect with them in the inbox. Don't do it on the Facebook page. Connect with them on the inbox. And you can continue the dialogue. But hey, I want to show you how you can afford it. I want to show you how this thing that I found. In fact, I went and looked up that trip you mentioned from the company. You said you wanted to go to Venice, right? You're not going to believe what you can go to Venice for. In fact, you wouldn't believe it if I told you. You got to see it with your own eyes, or you're not going to believe me. I'm not even going to tell you because you would. Don't tell me. Trust me. I would tell you, but you wouldn't believe me. And so, I mean, you can almost have a little fun creating more and more intrigue, right? To get them to say, okay, tell me more about this. Send me the video. Get me on a Zoom. Get me on your back office, right? So we could take the next step. And you guys can do this with your stories and reels and things like that. And remember that when people like your story, they like your reel, when they view your reel, right? You can certainly reach out to them. Hey, I saw you saw my reel today. I appreciate the support, appreciate the like, I appreciate the shout out, I appreciate the heart, right? I appreciate the this, appreciate the that. It's another way to get a conversation started, right? Your professional conversation starters. So keep in mind, it's not that you're going to post something and somebody says, aha, please send me a sign up link. It doesn't always work quite that way. Instead, you post something that creates a little intrigue. Maybe they give you a thumbs up or a heart or that's awesome, or I'd go here. And then you have to be in their inbox, right? Continuing that conversation, continuing to intrigue to the point that they get on a presentation, a Zoom, a recorded video, a travel mixer. I love the travel mixer with the game night. How unbelievable is that, guys? And I've seen when we did them back in the day, we would do certain theme nights. So like, hey, we're having Italian night, we're having, Mexican night, right? I mean, we're having, and that would be the theme of the food. And we want to keep it simple, keep it duplicatable. We used to teach, keep it, simple, but some things, guys, just don't cost very much money. You can, lasagna does not cost very much money. Pizza does not cost very much money. Tacos do not cost very much money. Chips and salsa don't cost very much money. There's all kinds of things you can do at your travel mixer that make people like, oh man, I love those little wiener dogs. I mean, it seemed like everyone I went, people had those little tiny hot dogs and the sauce. I was a sucker for those things, right? They got the toothpicks in them, and I mean, again, when you're feeding people, right, incredible things happen. In fact, there's even an incredible scripture that where Jesus says, "Hey, you followed me not because of the miracles that I performed, but because I fed you." I mean, this is Jesus. You're following me not because of the miracles, but because I fed you, right? And so guys, if you're having a mixer night, again, I love the game night, right? I mean, you kept it simple, you mixed it up, you kept it human, we're having fun. Yeah, we talked a little bit about business, how you can travel, but our business is fun, right? You can do it in a very lighthearted way, a very non-pressure way, in a way where, man, I mean, this was a fun night, man. We had some pizza, we had some lasagna, we had some chips, we played some games, learned how I could travel for less. Think I might want to come back next week. I got a couple other friends might want to have a fun night, right? Another great script on here. I found a game-changing way to make money online. I can share some information with you if you are open. If not, no big deal. And I use that all of the time. Hey, look, I can send you some stuff if you want to find out more, but if not, hey, no big deal, right? And you want to be cool hand Luke. Sometimes when people express an interest, we get the puppy dog syndrome, right? We get so excited. Our tail gets to wagging so fast, we just can't stand it. And we're just all over them, right? I mean, you got to hear about it. It's the greatest thing ever. You got Dave Hart, this trip and that trip. And you're like, whoa, man. Sorry I ever said anything. And sometimes the best analogy is picture that if you're a guy or if you're a girl, and assuming, maybe bad, a lot of you are married now, but picture back in that time when you were single. And for some of us, that was a long time ago, but picture that time when you were single and you're kind of first meeting some people and, hey, maybe you want to go on a date. Man, I think I'd go on a date with you. And, you're kind of, doing the little, the dance and, hey, maybe we go on a date, not go on a date. Well, imagine that other person, whether it be male or female, right? Doesn't matter, right? You kind of say, yeah, I think I might go on a date with you. And then they're just all over you, right? And oh man, I think I could marry you. And you're like, oh my gosh, I think I just tapped into a weirdo. I might be calling the SUV special units, the crime investigation unit just to check you out. I mean, so don't over attack when somebody gets excited. Sometimes, hey, I can send you some info. If you like it, great. If not, that's okay too. And you need to have that attitude, right? You have to marry yourself to the process and divorce yourself from the result. Again, marry yourself to the process and divorce yourself from the result. Another simple script. I found an amazing travel company that allows you to book at the travel agent rate up to 70% off. You could also earn free travel and refer people to their platform where you can earn money. They've already spread to 63, now it's like 64 countries. And would you be open to seeing their short video, right? That's another very, very direct kind of a script. But again, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. One of my favorite, by the way, is I think it's here it is. I found something I'm excited about. It may or may not be for you, but would you be able to take a look? Again, I found something I'm excited about. It may or may not be for you, right? I'm not trying to be too salesy, too pushy. Man, I found something. You got to see it. Everybody wants to do it, right? I mean, that's good enthusiasm, right? Don't get me wrong. You have to see this. I like that approach too. But sometimes, I found something excited about. Hey, may or may not be for you, but able to take a look. That way they don't feel like, there's this high pressure thing coming. I already told them it may or may not be for you, right? Well, yeah, send it over. Yeah, I'll take a look at it, right? Again, we're looking for people who are looking. We're not looking to browbeat anybody into our business, right? This is Larissa's peak question that she likes. And so you guys might want to take a picture of this, right? I mean, Larissa and Eager, they're clearly doing pretty well, right? And this is her favorite script. This is part of her training that she does, right? But she calls somebody up. Hey, hello, Katie. How you doing? Katie, hi, I'm doing well. How are you, Larissa? Larissa says, I'm doing well too. Thanks. Hey, Katie, listen, I'm calling you because I need your help. If you could help me, I would really appreciate it. I'm doing a training at work on how to work with people, and my assignments to invite 20 people to a Zoom webinar where the company will present a program that allows users of websites like Booking.com, Priceline, Expedia to save from 40 to 70%. I would just need you to tune in from the beginning to the end, about 30 to 40 minutes. There's no obligation for you. You don't have to say anything. All I need is your attention. And if you could help me out, I would greatly appreciate it. And let them answer. Nah, I know it'd help you, but don't want to do it. You could get a couple of those, right? But most people are like, well, yeah. When's the Zoom? I'll help you out. No obligation. I don't have to say anything. I just got to show up, helps you out, do your new work thing. Hey, I'll do that for you, right? And so again, very, very, simple kind of a script, right? Hope you guys took a screenshot of that. If you did, and this is recorded on Facebook, I got to just pause, go back and grab it, right? Here's Eager's. This is the one Eager likes, right? Hello, Katie. How you doing? Hey, I'm doing well. How are you, Katie? Listen, I have a quick question for you. When you travel, do you use sites like Booking.com, Priceline, Expedia, and places like that? Well, yeah, I do. Great. I recently found a program that allows users of these kinds of sites to save up to 40 to 70% more than or save more than we usually pay on these sites, right? This way, but people can travel anywhere around the world for much less. Katie, what is the program? Great question. Let me send you a link. The presenter of the program will make a Zoom webinar where they will answer all your questions and show you how this can work in real time. You have to see this, right? Now, again, Larissa doesn't necessarily like Eager's, and Eager doesn't necessarily like Larissa's, right? There's no right or wrong. There's just kind of finding your own unique style. Maybe you kind of borrow a little bit from this and borrow a little bit from that, but you're just kind of putting it out there, right? You're looking for people who are looking. No right answer, no wrong answer. No exact way to do it. It's not like, here's the way, there's it's just, you're out looking for ways to connect with people, right? And there's a lot of different ways to do that. So I'm gonna give you guys some more script ideas here, right? So peak questions. Hey, what do you do for a living, right? Hey, what do you like best about what you do? Hey, what do you like least about what you do? If you could change one thing, what would that be? And so those are great questions you can ask people. And then you can say, hey, if I could show you how to get more of what you like and less of what you don't like, would you be open to taking a look at a quick video? My company's expanding in your area. I mean, it could be sometimes simple as that. I mean, again, just asking questions and connecting and what they like and what they don't like. And if you change one thing, what would that be? Hey, look, my company's expanding in your area. If I can show you how to get more of what you like and less what you don't like, hey, would you be open to seeing some short information? If great, if yes, great. If not, hey, no big deal. And so again, marry yourself to the process, divorce yourself from the results, looking for a way to connect with people every day. Pete, question, have you heard of social retail? Now, you guys always hear me refer to this as the social sharing ripple effect, right? And because so many things are done through social media today, sometimes using that word, hey, I'm involved in social retail. What's that? Well, we have a travel membership, but it really kind of all happens online. It's, we do a lot of social retailing, the social sharing ripple effect. No one goes on vacation without, doing a photo dump, right? So somebody's just kind of using language, right? You see the second question. Have you heard of the social sharing ripple effect, right? Have you heard of residual income? Have you ever thought about having multiple streams of income? Do you believe in multiple streams of income? These are just different kinds of questions. Do you currently monetize your social media? No. Would you like to? If so, I can send you some information. If not, no big deal. Do you make money in your sleep? Right? I mean, guys, I tell that story on my Zoom every once in a while because, I mean, we're blessed like Daryl and Maria, and, we got a big team that's over in Europe and Spain and other places, in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan and other places. And so when I go to bed at night, if I go to bed at midnight, well, it's 9 a.m. in France. As I'm going to sleep, they're waking up. And so, Daryl and I are the same way when we wake up in the morning, right? I mean, it's like Christmas morning. I cannot wait to grab my phone to see all of the amazing things that happened while I was sleeping. While I was sleeping, people were selling Travorium in both of our legs because we have a huge team in, Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan and places like that. And of course, now Germany and Dubai and Norway and other places, right, in one leg. And we got a massive team in France and Belgium and Sweden and the French Polynesian Islands and Madagascar and the other leg. We literally have two legs that have gone into Europe and equally, growing rapidly, right? And guys, we barely speak one language, my wife and I, right? I mean, I promise you, it was not us. It's the power of telling a few who tell a few who tell a few. We didn't know these people. It's the power of meeting new friends, as Coach D said. Just meet new friends every day. You never know who you're going to meet that can lead you to this person, lead you to that person, right? That question for you: if there was a way to make money while literally sitting on the beach, would you want to know about it? If I found a way to make money from our mobile phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, would you want to know about it, right? And guys, there's no right question. I'm just throwing questions out here to provoke your own thought process, right? You guys can take screenshots and try different lines and different people and different situations. Hey, do you like to travel? Do you have any travel plans? Do you keep your business options open? Do you keep your options open to making money outside of what it is you currently do for a living? If there was a secret website where you could book travel at the travel agent rate up to 70% off, would you want to know about it? Right? I mean, again, just a curiosity question. Prospects in a work setting. Give somebody a genuine compliment, right? And so a lot of you guys are going to be in restaurants and different places and with different people, and you might be traveling, and you might be the person that transports you, from the park, the parking garage, to the airport, or from the airport to the hotel. And so, guys, waiters and waitresses and flight attendants and all the people that you're going to bump into. Guys, just number one, have a smile on your face, right? I mean, that you cannot believe or even imagine that helps. When I get on an airplane, sometimes I hear the people in front of me. How you doing today? Oh, I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. Well, we're getting by. I mean, when I get on a plane, how you doing? I'm fantabulous, right? Usually I'm brightening their day. Like, wow, I love that answer. I mean, how are you doing today, man? I choose to be excellent, right? Man, I love that answer, right? It brightens their day, brings some energy, right? Be you times two, right? I mean, so be bold, be excited, tell your face, right? Try to bring happiness to other people's lives. So the flight attendant's supposed to be cheering me up, making me feel good. And I'm going to reverse this. I'm going to try to make them feel good. The people I bump into, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Right? Well, hey, give genuine compliments. When you see someone doing some excellence or anything, right? Hey, compliment them on that. And when you're genuine in the compliment, by the way, you can then come back and say, by the way, if money were no object, what would you be doing? Right? You can ask that question, or you could say, hey, you are unbelievable what you do. I mean, are you doing this because this is your passion? Or are you doing this just to pay the bills? Most people, I'm just doing this to pay the bills. Well, what would you be doing if you weren't doing this? I mean, what are your passions, right? Again, looking for a connection. I'm just asking questions, right? Oh my gosh, I love to do this. I love to do that. I got grandkids. I want to do this. I want to do that. Most people want to tell their story, right? Everyone's walking around with this big, gigantic sign on their forehead. Please pay attention to me. Well, if you're the one that shows up, decides to pay attention to them and you're asking questions, and you don't have to be interesting, just be interested. Ask lots of questions. 2 ears, 1 mouth, again, divine clue. Asking lots of questions, right? And they're telling you all this stuff. Say, hey, by the way, well, you just kind of gave me a whole roadmap here. Hey, let me ask you something. I got a business, and we're in the travel business. We're booming. We're expanding like crazy. If I could show you how to replace your income here, working part-time with us, so that you could do the things you really want to do in life full-time, would you be able to take in a look? Again, would you be able to take in a look? If not, no big deal, right? And if so, I'll send you some information. If not, no big deal. Again, if so, I'll send you some information. If not, no big deal. They said, yeah, I would be open. I tell you what, give me a name, give me a number. I'll text you over the stuff. Check it out. If you dig it, great. If not, that's okay too. Gina and I, we're literally, in fact, Gina, we got to send D that info. I know she's on the Zoom. Gina and I are at the hotel, amazing hotel, by the way, in Spain, Madrid. And we were there at the hotel bar. And sure enough, this gal walks up and we end up in this long conversation. She's from Atlanta. And we end up like, I mean, she's telling, oh, we're just asking questions. She's telling about her life and this and some changes and some that. But yet she doesn't want a job. She wants to be independent. She's trying to maybe get her own thing going, but this and this and this and that. And you know, before long, right? I mean, it's clear. She doesn't know it, but she wants what we have, right? She wants to have the life of Coach D. She wants to have the life of Dale and Maria. She wants to have the life of Dr. Phyllis and Dr. Renee and Eager and Larissa and all, you know, and Tatiana, all the other ambassadors, right? I mean, it's clear. But again, I just listen. So tell you what, we got this company, we're booming. I mean, she loves to travel, by the way. We're booming. I'll tell you what, give me your name, give me your number. I'll send some stuff over to you. And by the time it's all said, she's hugging Gina, hugging me. I'm so glad you came into my life. I mean, we didn't even told her anything about the company yet. We just kind of told her, we just kind of dangled some hope, right? Say, trust me, we got a company, it's booming. You're going to love it. We'll get you some info, check it out, right? If you dig it, great. Not, that's okay too. You know, but we hugged and did this kind of stuff and, you know, sent her over some stuff, right? And sent her over the videos. I mean, we're just sitting at the bar in Madrid, Spain. I mean, you could do this everywhere you go. You're just looking to connect with people, right? This is target recruiting. You could go after realtors. You could go after mortgage people. You could go after, you know, insurance people. Hey, my name is Todd, right? I'm from, you know, wherever city you happen to be in. How are you today? The reason I'm contacting you is that my company's expanding into your area. I'm looking for potential leaders to assist me in the building of the sales and marketing side of my business. The reason I'm calling you is to see if you keep your options open to earning new streams of income if it didn't interfere with what it is you already do for a living, right? And so again, just another script you can kind of try to incorporate. There's more of these kinds of scripts, but you're just giving you some ideas. I know we're way after the top of the hour. I just happened to see the time. Unfortunately, my iWatch decided to go on the blink. I got to go and get it fixed. I didn't have it on my wrist yet. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how late we are. But anyway, I hope you guys got some value from today. Again, congratulations to Eager and Larissa. We'll see if they hit it on the same day or 2 different days, but Eager is going to be a 2-star, Larissa a 1-star. That's going to happen today, tomorrow. I mean, they're just a couple hundred volume away. And when Larissa gets it in her leg, then he'll obviously get it in his leg. Congratulations to Nick and Oksana, double 2 stars. Congratulations to Pastor Guy, Pastor Deborah. I appreciate all of you guys being here. By the way, happy Thanksgiving. I know that we're getting ready to go into some of the holiday stuff. You know, this week people are going to start thinking about traveling and doing those kinds of things. And we will be having a training call next Saturday. And we'll obviously focus in on some of the other concepts of our business here as far as connecting with people during the holidays. If you want that story that I shared, if you want the slides, the blockbuster story, you want this script per se, guys, just text me or reach out to me on Facebook, right? I know some of you may have written into the messages here on the side, but when I'm talking, I can't read the messages. So you might be, you know, way up there. Hey, Todd, please send it to me, but I didn't see it, right? So do me a favor. My phone number, 951-445-9500, right? Just text me. 951-445-9500. Most of you already had it anyway. Again, 951-445-9500. Just send me a text message. I'll send you the slides. I can send you the script as well. On again, that kind of blockbuster Netflix Travorium story I told just a moment ago. If you would rather, you can also do it on social media, meaning Facebook. We're most likely friends on Facebook. If we're not, why not? But it's my Facebook info. Just send me a little message on there, and I will be happy to get that over to you. So, guys, tomorrow night, fireside chat. We got Coach D and Pastor Mel and all the incredible guests they bring. You know, Cynthia Sly's been a regular on there, Ambassador Cynthia. So tomorrow night we have our fireside chat. Again, one of the biggest calls we do every single week. We've been doing that call for a long time now. That's at 6 o'clock California time, 9 o'clock East Coast time. We obviously are going to have probably some limited calls this week, right? Tuesday we'll be doing our normal call, but Wednesday I know I'm traveling, and so we'll find out about Wednesday, right? I'll get a notice out, but Wednesday could be tough because I think I'm going to be on an airplane, and unless I get someone to cover, we may just cancel. It's the night before Thanksgiving. A lot of people are traveling, that kind of thing, but we may get it done. We'll send out a text message to all of you that are part of my normal text list, and let you know what's happening with that. But hey, appreciate you guys being here. Have a great day. Go out and make some friends today. Reach out to some people today. Happy holidays today. Invite people to look at the business today. It's simply numbers, guys. Appreciate y'all. God bless. Bye, everybody.